Together, Israel gets more than $3 billion a year in assistance from the United States.
Sometimes the votes go through without a single debate involving billions of dollars. You couldn't spend that kind of money in this country without a huge debate going on.
Exactly.
A foreign government gets this money without debate because simply it's just organized to get it.
Why does Israel get more aid, more U.S. aid, than any other country in the world? $700 per Israeli per year, as opposed to $50 per Egyptian per year, as opposed to $2 per African per year.
None of this money goes for the $700, goes to raise the living standard of Israeli people. This is for their defense. This is for the security of Israel. If Israel were destabilized, the Arabs, with all of their petrodollars and with all of their weapons, would just sweep Israel into the sea.
So you hear it now. So you hear it now. This defense. That's how they ended up with the Iron Dome. That's how they ended up with better stuff than we have. I had a friend call today and tell me over the phone that he's going to Israel in June. And I said, be safe. But to be quite honest, I think you're going to be safer in Israel than you would be here in the United States. And he chuckled and said, okay, you're probably right. I think Israel is running the show. That's just my opinion. They're running the show. We're just here along for the ride. At this point, I don't know why we're even calling ourselves the United States of America. We should just be calling ourselves the United States of Israel, because that's what we are right now. We are United States of Israel, and this is not being anti-Semitic. I love Jewish people. I have no problems with Jewish people, but let's call it what it is. I wish politicians would just come right out and say how much money they're being given. That video, if you pay attention, was from 1988. That was when reporting was actually done with no bias. That was when people actually went out and did accurate news reporting, and they just asked the pointed questions that we as Americans want to know. We are sick and tired of being played for a fool. There's a lot of intelligent people in this country that sees what is happening to their country, and we're sick of it. It's like Netanyahu, just come out and just say, you guys are ours. You guys are our servants. We are better than you. You guys saw that one video that I posted of that one guy saying that the Jews are just better. We're better than everyone. We are God's chosen people. And I wish I could find the video, but I have it somewhere, and I'm sure I posted it already. They might have taken it down. But he said that in the video. And these are people that are at the top echelon of their groups. Okay? I'm not talking about the people like Alan Dershowitz. If you just want to Google his name real quick, you can find the video of him talking at some pro-Zionist meeting saying that, yeah, they're better than everyone else and they deserve more than everyone else. And I'm paraphrasing all of that. But the allegation I would make is that we are not being run by any authority other than this right here, this Star of David. That's who we're being run by.
Mother senators.
Shortly after that interview, AIPAC confirmed that the memo was in fact written by a former AIPAC political staffer. But they insisted she was a low-level employee and that her memo did not reflect AIPAC policy. And that's important for AIPAC because under U.S. federal election regulations, if it were shown that pro-Israel PACs were working in conjunction with AIPAC or were coordinated by AIPAC, that would arguably be a violation of the law. Well, shortly before this broadcast,
this video just shows further proof that Joe Biden has no intention of winning this election whatsoever. And here's the part that scares me the most. Donald Trump never said ever that he does not support Israel. So electing Donald Trump does not mean that, he supports Palestine. Make no mistakes. And if you watch my video I did a video, and I'm shocked nobody watches it. But it's literally a video talking about all of the policies that Donald Trump is campaigning on. And he laid it out for all of us. And one of the things I remember clearly is a mass deportation, a huge deportation. And basically, Donald Trump has made it clear that their beliefs do not align with our beliefs. I think this election is rigged. I have not seen one campaign sign. I have not seen anybody out, campaigning the way they used to in the old days. There's no posters. There's nothing. It's almost like we're living in some Twilight Zone skit or some Black Mirror episode. It's so dystopian because at this point, evil isn't even trying to hide anymore. Evil is in our faces on a daily. And I believe most of the things that they do is just fear tactics. It's fear tactics to make people afraid and to live in fear because they cipher our energy. They cipher the fear. This man is so evil, Netanyahu, that I'm amazed that there's people that still believe that what he's doing is even just in any capacity. How do you equate killing over 40,000 people? It doesn't make sense. And finding mass graves, right? Mass graves under the rubble near hospitals in Gaza. To me, it's at the point where we're not going to be picking the lesser of two evils come November. It's going to be straight going from one evil with their own set of ideals and beliefs to another form of evil. Joe Biden probably got a really good talking to over this past Mother's Day weekend because this came out and I was just flabbergasted because I thought we were making some progress here. I thought that Joe Biden decided that, hey, we need to rein in Israel just a little bit. We got to just tell them that, they could just ease up on the bombings and ease up on annihilating people in Rafah. But watch this video.
Hamas uses hospitals and schools and other civilian facilities for military purposes and has built a vast network of military tunnels under civilian areas. That puts innocent civilians in the crossfire. It does not lessen Israel's responsibility to do all it can to protect innocent civilians. 4, we believe Israel can and must do more to ensure the protection and well-being of innocent civilians. We do not believe what is happening in Gaza is a genocide.
How many times do you have to prove we can't be trusted?
So we just had a bill go through a month ago for $95 billion, not million, billion. And we've been giving billions away to Israel for the last, God knows how long, since they became a nation state, as they would call it. And no one sees anything wrong with this. How many political people have come out in the past and spoken against this AIPAC lobbying group and said that there's something wrong here and then been ousted, either disappeared, and go do the research for yourself, disappeared off the map, just gone. They just miraculously somehow some illness came over them and they passed away, or they lost their job, or they were unseated, or on and on and on. Now, here's the thing for me that I have a problem with. I just want to know who's running the show. That's really the question I have. Who's running the show? I'm sick and tired of being lied to. I'm tired of being told, no, they don't control things, when clearly from that video from way back then, they had groups that were lobbying so hard they were unseating politicians and putting in people that they wanted in positions of power in Washington, D.C. Our government is beyond corrupt. It's beyond corrupt because they're just not being transparent with us. They're not telling us who runs the show. And I could tell you, one thing I've learned about life in my 40 plus years of life is that you need to follow the money. Follow the money, and that will lead you to whoever's running the show. Anyways, have a great day and think for yourself.